Hey friend, Paige here. Welcome back. I am so thrilled to share today's video with you. I have Aliyyah with me. Aliyyah has built her web design business slow and steady while having children. And we go into all of the things in this interview. She talks about how she felt when it was taking her longer to get her business started than other people. And she also talks about some seriously amazing success that she's had just recently. She is upped her prices to $10,000 a website. Good job, Aliyyah. And she very recently had a client rave about working with her, which led to an onslaught of like 20 inquiries, and more are still coming. She is doing super, super well. But again, it took a little bit longer because she had some kids in between, and she talks all about that in the interview. So I really hope you enjoy it. Can you share with me what you were doing before you were a website designer? What exactly was happening in your life, and what made you think being a website designer might be for you?
I actually started a virtual assistant service. I had already had my first baby. I didn't want to commute back to a big city. And so I thought, how can I make this work? What skills do I already have? Through working with like a pelvic floor therapist postpartum, she needed help. And I kind of threw it out there that, hey, I'm a virtual assistant, so I can do like anything. And she needed help with her website. That's what kind of got me thinking, okay, I could totally do this. I can work from home and still have time with my baby and not miss out on any important milestones.
Okay, so she gave you that project to like start working on her website. Did you have any clue what you were doing? Had you done anything like that before?
So I do come from a creative background. I actually studied interior design, and I was actually working at a tech company. And I started off customer service representative. And then as the company grew, I kept getting pushed into like marketing and business analysis, and the development team. They did a lot of the coding. And at the time I tried to give running an interior design business a go and build my own website. There was no Squarespace, there's no drag and drop, none of that was WordPress. So I learned code. Like I learned code at night and I built myself a website.
Was it on Squarespace, that lady who needed help?
Yes. And I had never heard of Squarespace before. And I offered to help. She gave me all the information. I logged in and I thought, what is this? It was actually trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing that I found you. I found everything I needed for all your blog posts. I fell in love with the platform because it was so easy when you decide not to make it scary. And I had resources like yours.
That's amazing. So was it at that point that you decided to take the courses, or was it later on? Or at what point did you make the jump and be like, okay, I'm going to be serious. I'm going to take Paige's courses and then learn how to like do this properly?
It was definitely working with her. She kept wanting more and more done. And because I was finding a lot of information from her blog, and then I saw that you had offered this course, I put it on hold for a bit. And then I think the Squarespace business came out and they were launched together, this bundle. And I thought, if I'm going to make a serious go at this, why not prepare myself with not just the design aspect, but the business aspect, which I had no experience in. So it was really scary to invest in myself. It was the first online course. I was really nervous about it. I remember researching everything. And then when I got into the design part of it, it was like night and day, like learning about all the different parts and that I could really make a template my own. You know how you just replace what's already there? But through your course, I realized that I basically, at that point, starting with a blank page, deleting everything and making it your own, that you could really stand out. And I really don't think at that time anyone knew that. They thought they just had to go with what was there. And you opened up those doors and I guess that creativity side.
Amazing, amazing. So you've gone through the courses and then you get pregnant. Is that right?
Yeah, like this is at the point where I think I finished the design side of it. And then I started the business side because I was really excited. And then I got pregnant a little bit earlier than I had thought. With this pregnancy, I was just really tired. And so it kind of just, things got put on hold, which made it really, really hard. And I think I decided not to try looking for anything part-time. I just enjoyed it. That definitely put a really long pause on the process of what you were teaching and what I was trying to accomplish.
Now I feel like what's so inspiring is you are doing incredible, incredible design work, and you were charging like $10,000 a project, which is so admirable. So you eventually got to your end goal. But there, as we mentioned, like there was a good space of time in between, like when you originally took the courses and then when you then you had some babies and then you were like, okay, now I'm going to get back at it. Can you talk about that period of time and how you were feeling? And yeah, we'll start there.
When I was kind of forced to put things on hold. Like I know in terms of like age, I started, a family a little bit later, which is probably the norm now. But yeah, I just always felt behind. We've got Instagram, and I was still looking at things and trying to continue with my learning in some way, shape, or form, even if it was like 10 minutes of the course a day or a week. So it was hard feeling like I was behind, and I wasn't going to get there as quickly as I wanted to. I think mentally it just did a number on me.
At some point, you did get back to being like, okay, I'm going to be serious about this business again. What made you think that? Was it just like practical in your life, like your kids were older, or was it a mindset thing, or what happened then?
Yes, and it was definitely both mindset, and my kids were getting older and I was getting a little bit antsy. I'm someone who likes to be doing things, and like I'm just always a doer. I've always doing things. I had many ideas. I've had past businesses that just never worked out. And like you said, it's going to sound a little bit woo, but yeah, it was just a feeling and it felt right. And actually during the pandemic, like my whole family was home. So I did have some help. My kids were here, and my husband and I managed to split time during the days so that I could finish my course. Spending that much time together, I'm like, I can't go back to a 9 to 5. I can't do it. I want to be here. I basically want to have it all.
And how do you find it now? How like work-life balance or like kid friendly is the business that you run now?
If I was working for someone else other than myself, given the past few years, all the regulations and limitations when it comes to having the sniffles as a kid, there's no way I could have taken the time away and felt okay about it to look after my kids. So the nice thing is I've structured my time or my business in a way where I only work with one client so that I know my limitations. So I don't want to stress myself out. I don't want to feel stretched. So it's one client at a time. I work from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. And I can move that. I can shift it so that if I want to, I don't know, take a break for taking care of myself in the middle of the day, I can. If I want a slower start, then that's usually, I can start my day with yoga. I can do a stretch after dropping the kids off. I can still have time to wind down at the end of the day and then get into like the mom stuff, like cooking dinner and, having the kids ready for bed and all of that stuff. It's been pretty manageable because I've been able to make it like that.
What was important to you when you like structured, because you in the course I'm teaching you like, okay, here's how I did it, but like you can design your process however you want. Was there anything specific, like mom specific, that you thought about, like, okay, I need to make sure that I do it like in this way? Or was there a reason for the way that you chose to build it the way you did?
I think with a lot of moms trying to look after, one kid, two kids, however many, making time for yourself, you're always mentally overloaded. I realized that, and I worked with that to create my schedule. It was important for me. I do work, I do take care of my mental health. I do work with a therapist. And so all of these things factor into how I have scheduled my days and how I've planned my schedule when it comes to my work and life balance.
Can you talk about, so people are always wondering, they see website designers who are booked with clients and they're just like, how are they doing it? What are they doing? Can you share like what has worked for you and how are you getting clients right now?
I initially intended to use Instagram, but what's working for me is Facebook. I belong to a couple of women-based business groups local to me. And then there's like another group that I belong to. More of the members are scattered throughout Canada. When you participate and you share your knowledge for the sake of helping that community, it doesn't go unnoticed. And I mean, I was doing it just to help. Eventually I was featured and other women in the group noticed. And so they contacted me. One of my clients bookmarked it and then came back to me 3 months later. And she was like, I can't do this. Like, I need you. And so I found that by participating, like genuinely helping and sharing knowledge to help my fellow entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs. Yeah, that's how I was gaining the trust that, clients want. Actually, the next, I guess, 4 to 5 months is booked, and that's from one client who shared her experience with her group. And I literally, in 24 hours, got over 20 inquiries. And this was insane. I'm like, okay, July is supposed to be my slow month. I took it off to, spend time with me and my kids. And yeah, I just found myself doing a lot of consultation calls. And that's literally all it took, was building that trust relationship and having someone be so happy that they referred me.
Okay, so you did 20 call, or you had 20
over, and they're still trickling in.
That's unreal. Okay, so then you booked out months in advance, and then are you thinking about do I need to start a wait list at some point, or are you just I just keep booking out further and further? What's happening?
So it really depends. A lot of, I will be honest, I'd say maybe half of them have put it on hold for whatever their reasons are.
Half is good, honestly. That's good.
and so, I'm booking into January now.
It seems like you have a pretty streamlined business now. It's okay, we do a consultation call, then I have my CRM system and everything. So it's all good to go. So when the massive influx comes, you can handle the number of inquiries.
And that's the nice thing about how it happened is, when I look back, even though it seemed really slow and I was behind, it's working for me, because I am a very meticulous and very organized. And if it was anything but, I think I would be losing my mind. And so, yes, that's, thanks to you too for providing such valuable resources in the course. And so I was able, during that break and the pandemic, to get myself set up so that I can be in the position that I'm in now.
Talk about being your own boss. So you had worked a 9-to-5 job. So you knew life and commuting and working at corporate jobs and everything. Talk about how this is different now, because some people they couldn't even imagine what it actually is because it just seems so far from the reality.
For me, it's the time and not feeling guilty. In the 9 to 5, I think especially in North America, it's very much you're just constantly working and you feel horrible. You feel bad for taking a sick day. And I'm so lucky to have clients that I have, because I've been able to connect with other moms. We love that about working together, that there's a certain amount of empathy. And so if I do have a sick day, I do tell them. It doesn't really affect, my timeline, but I'm honest about it. And it's just so easy, oh no, I totally get it. That's, I think, the best part, is being able to take time as I need to or want to without the guilt, whether it be for me or my kids, my family, or even taking a little bit more time for my personal life, for my business. There's always, I have that control, and I don't think I could get that anywhere else.
What is the average client investment with you? How big are the websites that you're building for them?
I say on average, they're about $5,000. Your homepage, about services, and contact are the main pages. Anything above that, depending on who I'm working with and how extensive you want to get, the price can go up. And I did feel like I was over delivering even on those projects at that price point. And that's why I raised my rates to 10K and above. I've actually learned that even going back to niching and trying to please everyone, even with your services, if you're trying to please everyone, it confuses your clients, and it actually does no good to you and your business if you want to grow. So I've just sent an email saying, this is no longer an option after this date. This is where you can find these options. And I've done it so that you can only access those options if you were a client or a previous client. So
all new clients will be booking in at 10K or something. How does your husband feel about he's got stay-at-home mom, but also someone who brings in fantastic income? What does he think?
I think he loves it. He's really excited. He knows that I'm a go-getter. I can't just sit still and do nothing. Yeah, I think he's just really excited to see where it goes. I think he himself is really surprised from where it's come, even just over the past year. Because I still do have the self-doubt, and I do still have those moments of who do you think you are? And I've had 2 clients who are of a different generation ask me, what is my professional training? And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm such a fake. I'm such a phony. And I was like, I'm just going to own it. I'm just going to tell them where I came from, what I'm doing, and who I learned from. And that's the truth. And
Yeah.
It was fine after that.
Actually surprising. I feel like most clients don't even ask. Some do, but it's not that common that they actually ask. But it's interesting you said of a different generation. That might
Yes.
be part of the factor, I think.
Yeah. And I know that like, I do work with a lot of people or a lot of clients my age, and you'll get the odd ones who, trickle in and they don't really fit your niche, but
Mhm.
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I treat all of my experiences, whether it be a consultation call or working on a project, as learning opportunities. And every single time, I've always learned something, no matter how big or small. And I think that's one of the most important things to realize, that there's always an opportunity to learn and you'll grow from it.
Can you share some encouraging words, especially for the moms out there who maybe just had a baby or thinking of having a baby or are currently pregnant? What would you say to them who are going through literally your exact same situation, who are like, I want to do this thing, but I have to like take kids into consideration. But if I can't go as fast as like other people who don't, what would you say to those people?
Sometimes you just got to put the blinders on, because things really do work out in your favor. If when you put pressure on yourself, it's no longer fun. But if it's something that you truly feel is meant for you, take it in stride, take it at your own pace, and if you keep up with it, you will see results. You just trust yourself. Don't let fear be the thing that stops you, or self-doubt, age. I'm doing it and it felt like forever, but if you really want it, go after it, because it can happen. And when you look back, you're going to think, okay, it didn't really take me that long. Like, I'm so happy I pushed through it. And it's only really been about 2 years since I've been making a good go. And over the past year, I see the most growth.
That's such a beautiful, beautiful advice. I agree. What would you say to someone who's currently on the fence about taking Square Secrets or Square Secrets business? What would you say to that person?
Just there's no second guessing it. I would say you have to do it. You have to. Like, there's just no way. Like, I can't think of any other course that could better prepare you as a designer, and then on the business side, learning the ins and outs and the best practices of how to build yourself a successful website design business. You will learn something at every point, every module, even in the bonuses. Like, I don't even know like where to start, but it's just jam packed with things you wouldn't think you needed. Yeah, you'll just be so happy that you invested in that way in yourself and in your business.
I think that's what I most consistently hear is like, I didn't even know what I needed to know. Like, there were just so many things which I hadn't thought about or that I would have run into if I like hadn't learned it in the course. And I think that's interesting that people are just like, it's just things I wasn't even planning to learn and realized afterwards, like, oh yeah, I needed to know that.
One of the biggest ones was the legalities, the
Mm.
terms of use and the privacy. And I've been sharing that with my clients, because they just don't know. Even if they've worked with a past designer, it's just like, I didn't know this. I had no idea. Yeah, it's valuable for me and it's valuable for the clients that you're helping.
And I mean, I guess your return on investment has been like you got there in the end. So definitely.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay. That is so incredible, Aliyyah. I'm so thrilled, truly, because we've been talking for so long that, like, in the end, you didn't give up. You got there. You eventually, like, achieved your goal, even if it took you longer than you wanted to. I think that's so admirable and just really congratulations. You did such a good job.
Thanks. And I will say that those clients that ask for my credentials, you come first. I say, oh, I've learned from like the original, Squarespace expert, and she's Canadian and she's doing amazing. I'm like, I learned from her, and it's there that like I started. Like, you always come up, and I know they have no idea, because that's just not their
Your
business,
world, yeah.
but they're just like, okay, but you seem really passionate about this, so I'll
Sounds
trust
good.
you.
I think that goes to show, like, if you have good work and like your website is fantastic and like all your past work and everything, like, I mean, as you said, like, they're like, okay, you seem into it. Like, I trust you, go for it. And then obviously, like, by the end of it, you've done such a good job that people are referring you and getting 20 clients from one referral. So clearly, I think, yeah, you're knocking their socks off.
Since I've redone my website, they all say, I want a website like yours. It's clean, it's just so easy to navigate. And I learned all of that from the course. Like, it just always surprises me how learning to do that, to build a website that attracts the perfect client, Like it actually works. It does that.
So good, right? Aliyyah was a past Square Secrets and Square Secrets business student, and enrollment is not open right now, but I do have something really fantastic for you if you're watching this video right when it goes live. I have put together my Profitable and Productive Web Designer Bootcamp. It is a 3-day challenge that I would love to invite you to join me in. If you are thinking about being a website designer, even if you're having fraudy feelings right now and you're like, can I really do that? I encourage you, come join me inside the free bootcamp. It's going to be incredible. We're going to talk all about like the basics of getting started as a website designer. We're going to be talking about making sure that your client projects stay on schedule. We're going to talk about finding clients in the first place. And we just have such an incredible community in there and such a good time together. There is also a fantastic giveaway happening inside the bootcamp. It's the Ultimate Web Designer Starter Kit, where I'm giving you all the things that you need to get started with a web design business. That includes a web designer client contract for between you and your clients. That is a lawyer drafted contract, as well as 1 year of Canva Pro, and also your choice of a CRM system, either Dubsado or Honeybook, 1 year of that as well. So the entire Web Designer Starter Kit is worth $995. You can grab that or enter to grab that by joining us inside the bootcamp. So I'll put the link to that in the description below. We are doing it live very, very shortly. Get yourself registered, and I can't wait to see you in the bootcamp.